So I want to start from the beginning.
Okay. I come from a little town called Mir in Poland. And our president of Poland was called Mr. Schmigli. And when the war started in 1939, so he had a speech, and he says in Polish, "Nie dajemy jednego żyku." That means we don't give a button, but they give all the country.
Tell me about your childhood.
Eh?
I want to know about the beginning. Tell me about your childhood.
The German came into our town, so they killed 1 or 2 Jews. So they had the excuse to say why they killed them, because they killed a German. But that's not true. They didn't kill no German, but they killed the 2 Jews. After they killed the 2 Jews, went through a week or 2 weeks or a month, I don't remember exactly, they called everybody to the market. They called to the market and it says, you have to bring your jewelry, everything what you got to the market. So my father, me and my brother, and another brother was, the father and the brother was on a roof. There's 2 roofs like that, you know. So in between the 2 roofs, he was there, my brother and my father. So a gentleman who cleaned our chimney at home, he noticed him. And he called the Germans, he says, here is a Jew. They took him down and they killed him near the house. I was hiding on the attic, in between on the top. How do you call it?
The attic.
The attic. Yeah. I was hiding with my brother. So the neighbor who took out the boots for my father, he was going up and he says, give in. Nobody will do anything to you. But we couldn't breathe. Why? If he would breathe, he could hear it and he could take us out. So we didn't do nothing. We came at night. We left to the country, to the farmers. And on the farmers, then the Germans called us back. We were not going to do anything, and we put us in this zamek, in this. You see the place. So we was there. That was before in Mykolaiv time. Was there a palace? But it's a long time, maybe 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago. I don't know how many years. So after it was not in a good shape. So the ghetto was there. The ghetto was there with around 900 people, something like that. We was in the ghetto. To us came in the Russian. My brothers and my brother's friend, the older ones, they were belonging to Shomer Atzair. When they belonged to Shomer Atzair, so one of the brother's friends, Chakas, left to Vilna, Lithuania, and he was there in Shomer Atzair with Oswald. He was there with Oswald. Why? Because the Russian came in, so he didn't want to be with the Russian. He wants to, but the Russian came in there, so he came back to Damir. He came back to Damir. He goes on the street. He says, Chakas. gives a yell, Chachas! He got scared. Why? Because he had the German Mudir, like a German. He was a translator for the Meister of Gendarmerie. He was the Meister. So he says, Chachas, you don't remember me? He says to him, who are you? I was with you in the Shomer HaTzayir. I said, you was in the Shomer HaTzayir? You Oswald? Yes. They became very good together. He was a translator for the Germans. My oldest brother was cleaning the horses for him. So he used to come into the stable and give a yell, Verfluchte Jude! Here's rifles, take it to the ghetto. He used to take 2 rifles on himself with a bicycle. He used to bring it to the ghetto, he put it in the bushes. He says, boys, there's 2 rifles, go and take it out. Ammunition, bullets, pistols, all kind of ammunition he gave to my brother to take it to the ghetto. And he brought it to the ghetto. There was 60 young boys like my brother, older ones, with the ammunition from Oswald. They give them ammunition. We went out around 800 people from the ghetto. Some people turned back. They want to go with the ammunition. They didn't want that. Why? If they go 800 people with no ammunition, they catch them and they kill everybody. So they said to them, go anywhere, go to the country, go to the farmer, go to here, go there, anywhere you want to go, go. But we can't take with us. Me, my brother, they didn't want to take it. So I says to my brother, would I need them? I don't need them. I said, we go straight, we see a farm, we stay stable, we're going to the stable. Good enough, we're coming in the morning in the stable. My brother finds a rifle, double, because they used to go hunting, the farmers. So he finds a rifle and he plays the gun, and the rifle was loaded. He put it to the pah! I'm lucky I was not next to him. Anyway, we came into the farmer. We said to the farmer, listen, we knew the farmer. He used to come to us for Monday used to be a market to sell chickens, to sell butter, to sell horses, to sell cows, everything. It was a market. After the market, they used to come to our place to have a drink, to have this, and we used to go for vacation to them. So it was 7 kilometers from our place. So that time we didn't have no bicycles. After a little while, we bought a bicycle where everybody drove the bicycle to the country. They was fighting for the bicycle. Anyway, we went. We were staying there for a month, 2 months or so. The farmer goes away to the hospital. He goes to the hospital. The daughter comes to visit him. So he gives a yell, how's my Jewish people doing there? The daughter comes and tells us. So how the Jewish people there? Oh, this is very, very, in case somebody hears it, the farmer is going to get killed, and us we get killed. So I says to my brother, we have to move. There's no place for us. So we moved a mile and a half in the woods. It was in the Partisan. You know what's Partisan? It's in the woods. We dig a hole. We made a place to sleep in one long place. We put straw on top. Now you have to have a toilet. Well, what you did, so we built a toilet like that, thick, and we put it from the trees, I call it from the trees, the leaves, and cover the like a window to cover, and the smells will go out. What you do, we have to make a door. So what you do with the door, a square door, we put a hole in the door, we put a tree to cover with the big, how you call it, when they have the tree, anyway, to cover the door, and that we were staying there for over a year. Now, winter, we have to go to get food. Only thing what we had to do is go for food. So food, we have to go to the farmer. What you do in the winter? It's snowing. It's snow on the floor. If you go, you put your food, so you see the thing, what you do. So we took a big stick with a nail, and on the branches was the snow. We used to shake it and go backwards and cover the snow. We covered it, we went into the thing, and we were sitting there over a year or something like that. Then we went to the underground, to the Partisan. We was alone, no partner.
Hold on a second. Okay, it's good, right?
I don't know when it stopped though.
Really?
When the farmer said to the daughter, when he came to the hospital, that's, how's my Jews doing there? So the father came and told us. My father asked how the Jews doing there. We didn't know if somebody heard or not, but it's very dangerous. If somebody hears it, or one of the Germans or somebody, they come in this and they kill the farmer and they kill us. So I said to my brother, they have to go and make a zemlanka. You know what the zemlanka means? A hole. Make a hole and build like a house. So we built it on 10 feet high. The thing, not big. It's real big. It was like this room, exactly like this room was the whole thing. But we had to dig it. And it has to be digged fast. Why? Because they go to the woods, people going there, the farmers going. And if somebody knows as we're there, they could squeal on us, and they could kill us. Okay? Now, we went to the partisans after. We was not alone, then we went to a group. I went to one group, was only children and old women. So we didn't go to put a train in the air. Only young boys, like my brothers, they in another group, they could go to put to put a train on the air, or go on the highway, put a truck on the air. They could do it. They could do it. But us, we couldn't do it because we had old people. Only thing what we went is for food to the farmer. And we went to the food for the farmer. The farmer didn't have a picnic, eh? He never said no. And the farmer, what he had ovens. Let's say you want to go to the farmer, sleep over there. They have no beds or this. You go on the oven and you sleep there. It's warm. You're comfortable on the oven. They put, I don't remember already, maybe straw or something on the oven, but you sleep there. Okay. Now, my brother got killed by a partisan. How did he get killed by a partisan? A cousin of ours came into the underground people, to the partisan. He didn't know from nothing. They put him on this to watch if somebody not to come in or something from strangers not to come into the thing. So a partisan came in. So he gave a yell, who is that? I don't know what's happened. He shoot him. He shoot the partisan. He shoot the partisan. The partisan came back and shoot 3, 4 people. My brother and other 3 people. This is my oldest brother got killed by the partisans. Okay? After, it's okay? Yeah?
Let me just go back.
I tell you, I don't want to talk about the friend, but I'll tell you anyway, let people know. My brother was the one who brought in all the ammunition. We was in our Jimlanka, in our place. He was in the Atrat with the other people. They go to put the bombs on. And my brother knew all the way from the woods to go any farmer. He knew all the farmers because my father was a butcher and he was traveling with my father to the country, so you know all the farmers. And he know how to go there through the fields, not to the highway, because the highways there was Germans, they could get killed. So he was going through the fields, so not to the farm. Anyway, my brother brought all the ammunition. He came to after a little while. He says they're going to come to us, to be with us in the Jimlanka. So he took a pistol. He had his pistol. He had his pistol. His friends came back and they won the pistol. My brother says, no, the pistol is mine. I took so many ammunition I brought you, and the pistol is mine. They start to shoot in the air. So my brother said, give me the pistol. What they need the pistol? They give me the pistol. And after that, they killed my brother. After this, the underground people. Now, this is finished. I was in the underground, so my place was
How old
on
were
the
you?
island.
Do you know how old you were in the underground?
It's very simple. I was born in 1930. The war started in 1939. I was in the underground in 1941. So I was there in 41 and 42. I was there on the island because I was a year there. In 141, 42, I was on the island till 43. 43 and 44. So I was on the island.
Let's go back to the underground. We finished the underground.
The underground
Okay,
is finished.
okay.
There. I'm still there talking about the underground.
Okay.
I'm still talking about all that. So I'm in this Atrad, they call Atrad. I was there. What did I do there? I was going to Platonov, the general, to pick up the news. So I had a little pistol, carabinka they call it, a small rifle, and I had a little gun. I think was a Belgian car from Belgium. The car was only for myself. I kept it. You couldn't do nothing with it. It's a small little like a toy. It was like a toy, but I kept for myself. In case the German catch me, I shoot myself. Why? Because if they catch me, they make me suffer plenty. So that was in my head. If they try to catch me, take out my pistol, pop, and finish. Okay? came from Platonov. So we had in the island was mud and water. Mud and water. It's an island. What's happened? So we made a bridge. A bridge with round wood. Why round wood? If the horse will come on the wood, will turn, so he can go. He could go, but will turn. It will be hard for him to go. My horse was trained already to go to the bridge. I go every day. I went for the news to pick up the paper, to pick up from Platonov. That was the general Platonov. I went to the news to pick it up. And they made a thing and they talk of what is, where is the Germans, where they're staying, what they're doing, how they're doing, whatever. Everything was the news. One time, I passed the bridge. I passed the bridge. I see it's shining like mirrors. I said to myself, what could it be? I stopped the horse. I go down from the horse, staying there in the tree. Every time I see there comes more shining, more mirrors. Oh, I said, no, that must be the Germans. I turn my horse, and you know, I used to drive a horse like in the, you see in the circus, like they're jumping and this. I mean, the horse was like nothing to jump on it. When I was young, I forget about. I'm afraid for horse. Anyway, I passed by the little bridge, and I gave a yell to the. They was sitting watching if nobody comes into the place, to the island. So I give a yell, "Chłopcy, Niemcy jedu." I said, boys, the Germans are here. Okay, let them come. But we didn't have coils to shoot. If he had 5 coils, if he shoot, you have to kill somebody, otherwise you don't shoot. We let them come in a little bit. In the middle of the bridge, we shoot them, we killed a horse, we did this, we did this. We took away a few, they had minamyots, you know, they used to carry with the horses. You know, big, how do you call it?
Yeah.
The cannon.
Cannons.
Yeah, anyway. What we do, so we did, we had a few horses, we had a few cows, we had a few this on the island, we had it. So we went to Platonov, there was big, there was young boys and organized with ammunition. They had ammunition. Not as much, but they could fight, you understand? So we went there. One Jewish boy got killed. Why? It was my brother's, a good friend. We went there, so he gave a yell, "Chłopcy, dawajcie!" That means, let go. He picked up his head, right away he got killed. He got killed. Beside this was 400 Germans came in to us, and then they went to the other place. But the other place, they massacred there. They took away 2 things, horses, they killed a few, and that's it. Another month, 2 months later, they went 60,000 Germans on the woods. You know what means 60,000 Germans on the woods? But they never went into the woods. It's okay?
How many people were on the island?
On the island, we was on 175 people. People, old people, and young children. I had a doctor as a child. He was 10 years old. Okay? So that's what it was, 175 people in my Atrad, they call it Atrad, in my place, 175. But older people, we couldn't do nothing. We only had to go to pick up food to eat, that's all. That is our job. And me, I had to go bring in the news for them to read it, what's happening in the world. Where is this, what's it that, what's it this, what's it that. Okay.
Did everybody have a job?
Huh?
Everyone on the island had a job?
There's no job. What job?
I'm saying...
There's no job. Everybody did what they had to be done. To cook, there was cooks, there was helping cooking, they're helping to the kitchen, they had.
What did it look like? Where did you live on the island? Was there barracks on the island?
On the island, we had when we was alone, we was in the ground, was nothing to see. When we was on the island, we had already little homes, little butkelach we had.
What did it look like? What did the homes look like?
Like a little city. It was like little homes they built it.
Somebody built it?
Oh, we built it ourselves. Nobody built for us. We ourselves built it.
What did it look like? It was just a little...
A little house, little houses. Nothing to be excited for the houses. But that's what we had.
How many people lived in each house?
Each house, maybe 10 people, 12 people. And from that time, now it became 60,000 people. Right? What's happened? They was going by quartal. You know what I mean, a quartal? A wood has quartals. Here's one quartal, here's the second quartal, here's the third quartal, here's the fourth quartal. So they went in, it's okay? Okay. So what's happened? The 60,000 Germans went there. We exactly knew where the Germans are. They never went into the woods. Why? They was afraid, as every tree is an underground man, a partisan. So they never went into the woods. What they did, they was going by quartal, you know, quartal. They shooting. So they shoot here, we go here. They shoot here, we go here. They shoot here, we go here. They didn't kill not one person. For 60,000 Germans. This time, I was alone in the woods, alone, for 2 days. Why? When they shoot, you know, you run where you think is the right way, not to get killed. So I ran this way. I was alone. One thing bothered me. I don't know how to swim. So I say to myself, what will happen? I'll have to pass a river or an ocean or something. I don't know how to swim. That's it. My only worry was, what's happened? I had a little can here for drink water or something. I go, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. I go on the field, I see a cow. Happy, the cow. Went to the cow. A milk. I didn't clean the milk. Usually they have to clean the milk. I drink. Okay. I drink, I'm happy. I feel really full. I go further. I see a horse. And I'm with the horse, like in the circus, you see. I'm excellent with the horse. Now, I see a horse. What should I do with the horse? I have no cord, no nothing to be able to drive the horse. I said, oh, I have an idea. What did I do? I took the grass and made a cord. From the grass, I made a cord. And I put on the horse. I sit down on the horse and I drive. Somebody gives the yell, parole. Parole is that you have to give the number, the parole, the name, what, a parole. So I yelled in Russian, I said, "Не знаю parole." Who are you? Partisan. Ходи сюда. Come here. I come over. Who do I see? Where's my brother worked? My brother worked in a place where they make rifles. So I says to the guy, I said, where's my brother? Не знаю, I don't know. My brother ran away when the shooting, he ran away in the old place where he was before. And he got wounded in the food, in the meat. But that was a few days and it was over, it was okay. After he came back, I said, Sidney, where were you? Oh, I went to the place where I was before. I said, anyway, I went there in his atrat. I was with them already, so everything was okay. After that was finished, when I finished with the horse. So I had to die. I had already milk, I ate. Then I came there, I had what to eat. I was okay. Then, after the war, the Germans ran to the woods. There's a lady who was working in New York. And this German was beating her. And the German came into the underground. There's how many people was there and beating him. And he says the Germans still will sing. Sing, that means they're going to win the war. Till the last minute, then the chief of the Partisan, he was a Polak. I bet you this Polak, plenty Jews he killed. It's an Antisemite, was a real Antisemite. But he's the chief, what can you do? Can do nothing. He took out the pistol, bah! He killed him, the German. There was a little young boy that he was maybe 10 years, a doctor's a son. He got, you know, the boots when they make it, they have the thing what they put in the boots. He had that and he hit him. It was a mess. You understand? Now, this is, you want to know from the way we were not from Damir?
Yeah.
To go. Why you think he could go so fast? He couldn't go so fast. But I trained him every day, so you know how to go the bridge.
So tell us what happened. So when the German horses, tell us a story about when the German horses came to the bridge.
When I went for the news, I went up the hill. So I see there is mirrors. The mirrors was the heads from the Germans for shining. So I jumped up from the horse, I see the mirrors shining, so I went in my horse and I went through the little bridge and I give a yell, Chlopci, Niemcy jedu. So they start to shoot. They didn't have too much coils, but what they had, they shoot. I had here in Montreal a man, he's a Jewish man, and he was a big shot. I don't know how you call that. Anyway, so he sees me, he had a store on St. Juba Street. So he sees me, he says, Hymie, I still remember you said, Chłopcy Niemcy jest. You understand? So that's, it's a story. Now, in my place, my brothers, the war finished. The war finished. I came out from the underground. What did I have? A shirt, a pair of pants, dirty pants or broken pants, nothing. I went to the farmer and I said to the farmer, can you give me a pool? A pool is 16 kilos, grain. I took the grain, I put it to a guy who makes flowers, a Jewish guy, flowers. I paid for it, not for nothing. Don't do nothing as much for nothing.
How do you have money?
I told the farmer, when I'll sell it, how can I pay you? They asked me. You know, first of all the farmers knew me, my family, all the farmers, because we used to do business with them, so they knew me. Anyway, I took the merchandise in Minsk and I sold it. I sold it back. What did I bring? Gold. 10 rubles, 15 rubles for the guy who made for me the flowers. He must to take away a sack of gold like that for me, what I brought him. He must have other people too. Now, and my brother used to yell to me, Hymie, you're going on a truck, you're going to get killed. Why, there's men on the road and this after the war, and you can go. I said, Sydney, I have nothing to lose. Only I could get killed one time, not twice. For one put, I took 2 puts and 3 puts and 4 puts, and I made a lot of voyage in Minsk. When in Minsk, everybody knew me. What they used to call me? Patsanok, Chadishuna. Come here, little boy. Little boy, they called me. Patsanok, Chadishuna. So I used to have 2 partners. One partner was Mr. Rosenberg. Him and his wife. He was working in a fire department. In Russia, a fire department is like a policeman. Same quality there. So comes over to me one day, Mr. Rosenberg, and he says to me, Hymie, yeah, ask your uncle if he could give me 15 ruble gold. You'll be my partner. I just bought a cow, I killed the cow. We're going to Minsk to sell it to you and my wife. I says, Aaron, my uncle, I guarantee you, has the $15 ruble, but he wouldn't give it to me. I tell you right now, go and ask him. I said, okay. I go and ask him, I said, Moshke, can you lend me 15 ruble gold? He said, you crazy? Well, I'll have gold. I have no gold. So I go to Aaron, I said, Aaron, I have no gold. If he has, he wouldn't give it to you. I told you before. You don't need nothing, you're my partner. We took the cow. We brought it in Minsk, and we started to sell the car. I had a coat with pockets here. Oh, good. So I used to put the rubles in pockets. I was like pregnant. You know, a cow, to sell it in Minsk, that time was expensive, the meat. Everything, they didn't have nothing. They didn't have no bread, no meat, no nothing. And me, a policeman comes over to me. Come to the police. You call me police? You know who I am? Partisan, воевал за родину. You know what that means? No. I said, I'm partisan. I fight for the country. When I said that, I fight for the country, you're my best friend. Okay? There's nobody could do that what I did, because that's a speculant. In Russia, speculant, they put him in jail. But me, when I said, воевал за родину, I was the best friend. Okay? One time.
Okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Another time, I go with Mr. Stolzenberg himself to New York, selling. We had flowers, selling flowers. Going to flowers, we see this guy walks on the sidewalk. So I say, that's the guy who wants to put me, to take me to the police. So he runs over to him, grabs him for his bag, come to the police. The guy took it off. He ran away from him. And from that time, this is finished, this story, okay? Then I had another, so I was traveling so many times. After I says, I have enough money to go to, because I want to go to America, or Israel, or Canada. I didn't know where I'm going, but anyway, I have to have money if I go to a different country. No, I can't go without money. So I says to myself, I had with one woman 50,000 rubles of merchandise on the truck. And we give a Jewish guy with a Russian driver. We load him up a 2.5-ton truck with flowers. You're going to Minsk. What do you think it is? 2 miles or 3 miles, I don't remember how many miles. He throws us out from the truck. I said, why you throw me down? Oh, you can't go through the border. I said, if I was on the road, you know, I could go anywhere. Anyway, throw me down. And my partner comes in. She was a teacher in Russian. She spoke Russian beautiful. Hymie, I thought you got killed. I'm going home. She says, I'm going home. I said, you're going home. I'm staying here. I'm going to arrest this guy. He took away 50,000 rubles from us, 50,000 rubles at the time gold. Maybe 500,000 rubles. I don't remember. I could buy for the rubles a lot of ruble gold, and I would be a millionaire. You understand? I says to myself, this is my last voyage, the last thing. So it takes away from me 50,000 rubles from me and my partner. She had a little bit more flour, and I had a little bit less. Anyway, we went back. They went through, here's Damir, here's Stolps, and here's Minsk. So they went to Stolps, pick up chickens in a place. They went up to pick up chickens in a place, Russian, it's like Belarusia. Belarus is like Quebec, okay? So she said she wants to go home to see my son. The son was going with me in school, the same school, the same class even. Oh, I want to see my son, and I don't need anything. I said, you, what you want, do what you want. I do what I want. I'm not going home. I'm going to arrest this bastard. Okay. So we was already stopped from Minsk. We got stopped. Then I'm going in the place where he picked up the chickens. You know, when you come to a Russian place, you think you just could go just say hello? Who are you? And I said, Vayvalza Rodinu, and my best friend. That's my whatchamacallit. Vayvalza Rodinu. What are you doing here? I tell him the story. Oh, yeah, that's the story. You go in Minsk and you go this in this address, there's he. And he give me a wrong name, so they give me the right name. I go there, sleep over the night. In the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, we're going to this place. This place had a, I call it a barrette. How you call it? You know, when you have in the houses, the, how you call that?
Porch.
Huh? The clothes, the woods, with wood, how you call it there?
The tree house?
No, no. You build a house, you put something to hide from your neighbor, how you call it?
Oh, to measure the
No,
land?
it's a wall that separates.
A wall separate, yes.
Yeah,
how you
yeah.
call it?
A separating.
Yes, anyway, it is high and long. And on this, it's marked Chodu Niet. You know what's mean Chodu Niet? You can't go in. And in between that is a little house. So my partner, there's an older lady, a Jewish lady, goes out with 2 piles of water. So she says to her, can I have a glass of water? She says, sure, come into my house, I'm next door. Come into my house, I'll give you a glass of water. And when they start to talk to each other, what are you doing here? They say, they are Jewish people. What are you doing here? What this? Blah, 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 blah. She says, we came to see a guy took away from us 50,000 rubles. And they told us it's here, it's in the place. And it's marked Chodu Niet. Sure, I know this man. He goes out with my niece. Where's the man? She goes outside, she says, you see the red roof? It's right. So I said, I go there, I saw it, he opened the window, so I saw the white shirt with the, it was like Quebec. Can you fight Quebec? Can you make a court case in Quebec? Huh? I'm asking you.
Of course.
You can.
Oh, for the government.
For me, your
Oh, yeah,
government.
No.
You can make no court case. Eh? I cut him. We went into his room. I said, so and so. I said, where's my flowers? I don't know you. You don't know me? But one thing I'll tell you. You're going to go to jail. And I'll tell you why. First of all, you went in my town, you brought salt, you sold it on the black market. Second of all, you went here and here, you did this, you took away from me the flowers. What do you do with the flowers? I have a brother, he's wounded, he's in hospital. I'm going to call my brother to call Stalin. And I'll make a case, and you're going to go to jail. Didn't help nothing. There's a Jewish general next door. I wake him up in the morning, the poor guy. I tell him the story. So I tell him the story. You know what he says to me? This guy should be shot immediately. After the Jews were the suffer, he could take away from a Jewish man the flowers, he has to be killed, the bastard. He says like that, but he can't do nothing. I made a court case. In the court, they come in, they say, anyway, was 50,000 ruble, they gave us 15,000 ruble. From 50 to 15. The lady had a little bit more flowers. She got 8, I got 7. They didn't give us the full amount. They give us 3,500 for her, 3,500 for me. You have to come next week, you get the rest. Okay? That's what the court said it. So I says to the lady, you have to wait a week there. What I'm going to do there a week? I'm going to go home, pick up another load, bring it back, I'll make more money. I come back, he's gone. I never saw him again. How many people could make a court case in Russia? I'm one of a million who could do it. Can you make a case here in Quebec? And Russia is worse. I made a court case. And that was a Christian, a Russian, who made the court case. Okay? But you should see the way. First of all, this bastard, what he did, he took the flowers and he gave everyone the big shots. Some flowers. That time was no flowers. You couldn't get no flowers for no money. They didn't have what they, they had the bread in Russia, in Minsk, that time, when I was there. They give a kilo of bread, it's first of all not baked enough, and straw inside. They didn't clean the flowers. And they came, they give a kilo was big like that. Why? Because it was raw. They didn't have it. Okay? I made a court case and I win the court case. This is something what nobody could do it. Nobody. I did it. That's the case. That's the story. Before the war, I was going to Cheder. The rabbi used to throw me candies from the top. And he had that little sugar in the mouth. He said, "Oh, Rabbi, I put that piece of sugar in the mouth." The square little sugars. I was 9 years when the war started. I was learning only, I went to Cheder, that's all. I went to Polish school for maybe 2 months, 3 months, and that's it. I didn't know how to speak Polish. I didn't know how to speak Russian. I learned I picked it up. Even today, I don't know how to eat and write. Why? I came in here. I had an auntie in New York. She was very rich, but she was my auntie, he was my uncle. He came to see me, he says, if I want to go to school, they're going to pay for me. I didn't want to do it because my auntie, and then they could say, oh, I give to your nephew money, maybe. So he introduced me to 3 people here in Montreal. Pascal, 5-cent store, and Crystal. Crystal, the 2 lawyers. He was in the parliament. So Crystal invited me for Passover one time. His wife tried to get me to New York to see my auntie. She could never do it. Why? I don't know. She couldn't get me a visa to go to New York. And she was top.
Talk about what you were doing when the war broke out. You told me once you were playing outside, you were a child, and all of a sudden there was chaos in your town, and that you said something about seeing your father's shoes. Remember that?
Yeah, when the father they killed near the house.
Tell us what happened.
They killed him near the house.
No,
because
when the war broke out.
What were you doing? Remember you said you were playing on the ground.
when the war started, after the war, the Germans killed a few people. One brother was working in the country, the other brother was hiding, and my father was hiding. Me, I hide in the Arctic. Me, my brother was hiding in the Arctic. My other brother was in the underground with me, and the father, they killed him near the house. And the neighbor, you know, in Poland they had boots with big boots, beautiful boots. So this neighbor took out the boots for my father, and he got killed. But after the wars finished, we brought Oswald back to Montreal. He saw all the people who worked with the Germans, we cleaned them up, and this guy, we put it in Minsk, in jail. I came in with my brother, we hit him, but it says you're not allowed to hit. If you hit in dry, that's nobody. But this guy, I'm sure, didn't go out from jail. I'm sure. In Russia, when you go into jail, especially for that, he wouldn't go out from jail. So that's the story.
Say,
I'll tell you something else. But it's very important. I told you the story that Mr. Rosenberg was my best. We had a cow, and we took to Minsk and we sold the cow. Okay? He died. And he liked me. He wants I should be his daughter, to get married with his daughter. But she was very young. She must have been 10 years, and I must have been 12 years. But he liked me anyway. So he died, and his wife was in California in a house. And the daughter, I called her with the daughter. I was in a good. So I call up the daughter and I go to California. I go to California, I come to her and I says to the daughter, listen, I would like to see your mother. She says to me, my mother is in a house and she wouldn't recognize you. She wouldn't know nothing about you. I said, okay, let me go see. She was 92 years old. So I go over to her and I says, Shane, do you know who you're speaking to? She said, no. I said, tell me, do you know your partner, Hymie? She knew me exactly. Would you believe that?
Wow.
92 years old. She said, Hymie.
How did you get to Montreal?
In Montreal, it's a good story. In Montreal, I got the Jewish Congress brought me over here. Okay? I could tell you about the story how I built my business if you want to know. The Jewish Congress brought me over here, and they give me a job. I worked for Jurupan Blouse. They were the nicest blouses in the city, in Canada, I should say. They had a partner, two partners, Jewish guys. One couldn't speak not Yiddish. He was, you know, from the very high class. One was a salesman. He was on the road for 6 months. They gave me a job, they paid me $17 a week. I paid rent $60 a month. So I didn't have, if I need for 5 cents for a glass of milk, I didn't have it. Because in the morning I used to take the train, it was a tramway, used to go from Park Avenue till Craig. Near Craig I was working. Came in here, okay. After a year, I have my brother in Vienna. One was wounded, he's wounded in the head, and one is working in the Vienna for, as a chauffeur, a driver. So I go over to my manager. I knew right away he wouldn't do it because he was afraid of his job. I take away his job. Because I did the job and he got the credit. You understand? There was 80 girls sewing. And I was the only one cutter to give them to cut for sewing for 80 girls. You know what I mean, 80 girls? 80 machines? A lot. I used to give a table twice as big as this room. A table, and put in material on the table and cut it for the girls to sew. So I come over to the manager. I said, listen, I need a favor from you. What is the favor? I needed a paper if they come in here, my brothers, they have a job, that you give them a job. I don't need your job, I have a job for them, but I want the paper to do it. Sorry, I can't do it for you. I didn't speak not English, not French, only I spoke Yiddish and Polish a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I didn't learn Polish, but anyway, I figured, what should I do? Should I go over to the boss? He wouldn't understand me anything what I'd tell him. But I said, I'll take a chance. I go over to the boss. I said, Mr. Berko, yeah. I'm working here a year. I would like to know, I have my brothers in Vienna. I would like to know if you give me a paper that they could work here, but I don't need it to work here. I have a job for them. Sure, I'll give you the paper. Then I say, Mr. Berko, I'm working a year. You pay me $18 a week. I pay $60 room and board. I can make a living. If I need a glass of milk, I can buy it. I haven't got it. I have to have a raise. Otherwise. So he said, you have to go to the manager. I said, Mr. Berko, I don't have to go to the manager. I'll give you notice 2 weeks. Because the manager wouldn't accept it. And I know he's afraid of his job. That's it. I give notice to him, to the manager. I go downstairs, there was 2 Jewish guys, have a restaurant downstairs. I said, boys, I'm leaving you. He said, what do you mean you're leaving? There's no jobs. What are you crazy? You're leaving? I says, listen, I see the streets are dirty. I'm going to clean the streets. I'm not afraid to work. I don't want to steal. I want to work and get paid. Now you understand? I leave the job. Where did I go? Manesevich Matzah in Lashim, I think it was. But there's that night. I worked 1 week. I said, no, I don't want to work at night. Somebody says to me, be a peddler. I went peddling. I don't speak Yiddish. Yiddish I speak, but I don't speak Russian, I don't speak Polish, I don't speak English, I don't, French, I don't speak. How could I go to a door, knock a door, say what? So they teach me to say 2 things, le draw and blanket, that's all. I said 2 words. I had a pencil with a paper, and I mark it out. I work 1 day, 2 days, nothing doing. I went back to work. Where did I go? On Craig Street was a Mr. Kreisman, had a little building who served coffees and sandwiches and this and that. Comes in a big guy, Rose Dress. Rose Dress is a rich guy. He is a manufacturer from skirts and he's very rich. He comes over to me. He says, "Can I have a club sandwich with grass?" The club sandwich. So I says to the boss, "Tell me, Baas used to eat the horses and the cows in the grass. Here the people eat the grass." He started to laugh. He said, "Here is only the grass." Anyway, I worked there maybe 6 months a year. First of all, I didn't get $18. I get $25. Oh, I'm a rich man. Plus, I had food. I could eat there. After a few months, I said to him, "Mr. Kreisman, you know I'm a Jewish boy. I don't think I'm going to stay for a long time to stay in your place. I might buy a restaurant." "It's okay. You want to buy a restaurant? Let me know. I'll help you to buy the restaurant." I thought they'd take me and throw me out. He said, "I couldn't help you." It was very nice of him. Anyway, I went from there. Comes in another Jewish boy. "Hymie, let's go pedal." He didn't know either. Didn't speak not English and not French. But we're going to a door, knock the door, in the door, in their face. And this, that. Anyway, we started working. Then my brother, I brought him here from Canada. He worked on St. Lawrence Street in a restaurant, a smoke meat restaurant. But they had a freezer, a working freezer. So he used to go into the freezer and go out. He used to get sick. So he says, "I can't work there. I get sick all the time." "Okay, come work with me as a peddler." He went once, twice. "I can't do it. It's not my kind." Anyway, then we start to buy cards. You know what we buy cards? We had people used to go, a parcel used to be $45. So we used to give him $15, the profit for him, the whole profit. And we used to get the card. And then when we had the card, we used to go collect $2 a week. Then we had the customer. We collect this money, we sold him something else and something else and something else. Then we got him watches and rhinestones. And there we made big money. A rhinestone watch used to cost $18. We used to sell $99, $125, depends, it's a little bit fancier. Rhinestone cost $16, we used to sell $99. We made good profit. After I was a year or 2 years in the business, then I says to my brother, "Let's go open a store." So we came on St. Lawrence Street near Secretary. There was a store, used to be a theater, dirty, terrible. But from one to the other street, the store was going through. Next door used to be a factory from sofas. So there was $400 a month. So my brother says to me, $400? It's okay?
Yeah, 400. Said it was 400.
How can I pay $400? I said, "Sidney, you'll be inside, I'll be outside. I'll bring customer from outside. You know what? Don't worry, we're going to make it." Anyway, we had a store, and we had all the Greeks. When they came from Greece, they came to my store. Why? We had a Greek salesman. He said to us like that, "I'm going to get these people to come into the store. We're going to show them how to sew on the machine, and we're going to give them jobs." So we had a full store all the time, So people thought we're making fortune, but we didn't make fortune. We give jobs. And anyway, and from this store, one store, second store opened, then a third store. In 1967, I was the first one who sold to bachelor apartment. You know what I mean, bachelor apartment? I sold to a bachelor apartment. Comes in a friend of mine. He says, Hymie, you have a job for me? I said, yeah. What will I do? You'll be my partner. Very nice, no? I'll be in, you'll be out. We're going to sell to bachelor apartment. But the first bachelor apartment, I'll go with you because you don't know how to sell it and what to sell it. I'll go with you. And after you'll be on the road, sell it, and I'll be inside to ship it and we'll be 100% partner. It's good, no? We started to work. We did very well. Then my brother buys a carpet, $10 a foot. The builder doesn't need it $10 a foot. They need it for $2 a foot. They had a carpet with foam, piece of garbage. But that's what they want, to rent the apartment. That's what they want. So he comes over to my brother. He says, listen, Sidney, I can sell for $10 a foot. So if you don't like it, go and buy yourself. I said, Sidney, he did a boo-boo. If you tell him to go to buy himself, then he's going to go out for you. Watch and see. That's what I said, that's what's happened. So he was my competitor, my competition. So I said to Sidney, to my brother, I says, if he comes into a customer and cuts me, we have 3 stores, we make a living from these stores. I would give cost price. For 2 months, for 6 months. Cost price, I don't make nothing and I don't lose nothing. He will go out and I'll go in. Otherwise, I'll go out and he'll go in. I'm not working for nothing. Okay. So he went in and we went out. But I was the first one to sell the apartments. So we had a good business. We had a customer who had 150 apartments. He used to come to give an order. Give me 50 hide beds, 50 bedroom sets, 50 carpets, 50 drapery, 50 lamps, and we used to sell 50 at a time. So we called up my brother in New York. He was in New York, a baker. He was not a baker. He was on 3 jobs he used to work. What to do? Cake. They make the fancy cake. He used to make the fancy cake. So I says to my brother, let him bring over here. And he'll make for us the hide beds and the sofas and the sell to other people. And we pay him right away. So he says, it's a good idea. So I says to my brother, it's a funny, eh? I says to him, if I know he was a little Italian, he was a upholsterer. If I could find him, he's the best. He's an honest man, he's an honest boy, he's a good boy, this and that. If I could catch him, that's what I will make with my brother apartment. As I talk out this word, it comes into the store. The Italian comes into the store. Would you believe that? I said, you see, Sidney, he is the man. So I says, tell me what you're doing. I have a little factory. I make my items, my sofas. He's a good man. So I says, with who are you? I said, I have a partner. Who's the partner? He's Italian. What he's doing? He's the accountant, but he's a partner with me. I says to my brother, we're going to make partnership. Watch this guy, the accountant. Him, I'm not worrying about it. You can trust him 100%. The other guy is too smart for me. Watch him. What do you think? Me, he can steal nothing. I said, nothing? Okay. One day he comes in, it's a Saturday or something. The guy says, where's my sofa? What sofa? Oh, I ordered the sofa. They sold the sofa without knowing my brother and take the money in the pocket. So my brother said, shh, out. So we sold them out. And he was a little manufacturer on St. Lawrence Street. On St. Lawrence Street, he had a place as big as this baby, a little bit maybe bigger. And it was on the second floor. He couldn't show nothing. To bring up the goods on the second floor is too much expensive, the labor. So I says to my brother, it's not a place for him. He needs a downstairs, and he needs a bigger place. It's not a place to produce. I had two salesmen, one Italian, one Greek. Kostas Karajanis was Greek, and Salvatore was Italian. I used to do, I need a place, he's on the second floor, he can make a living there. So I says, myself, I'm going to look in the paper. So my Italian and the Greek fellow told me, Hymie, you're looking for nothing. If Sydney doesn't want it, you'll never get it. Doesn't want it. And he's your partner. And I made him, he's the boss. So, what's happened? I see in the paper it's a place for sale. Place for sale. I call up the guy. I say, if you'd like to come over, explain me what you have. Comes over. He says,